What's up? It's Jasmine. Welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you saw the title. We're just gonna be chatting. I'm gonna give you a little update on what's been going on while I eat my dinner. I went to the local Euro restaurant. My dad said these are the best Euros in town. So we'll see. Euro, fries, ketchup, and napkins. And then I got a strawberry lemonade. I'm currently on a caffeine cleanse, so no tea, no Mountain Dew, no coffee, no Dr. Pepper, nothing. Let me try the fries first. They're probably not gonna be good just looking at them. I don't think I like these kind. Kind of soggy. I prefer crunchy fries. Oh, look at that. My mom and sister made homemade Euros last week. So I was driving past this Euro restaurant and I did a complete U-turn because I was like, that actually sounds really good right now. Presentation, first bite. So good. Last week I was diagnosed with anxiety. Lately I have just been on edge for no reason. 2 or 3 weeks ago was when it was the worst it's been. My dad took my siblings and my younger cousin and I to a basketball game in Charlotte, and it's a 2-hour drive from where we live. And in the car, like, I was just, I mean, on the outside I looked fine, but mentally I was like trying to calm those little people that run my brain. You know that SpongeBob episode where like everything's on fire in the brain and they can't figure out what to do? That's how I felt, like a bunch of little people, and I could not relax. I felt stressed, I felt tense, I could not calm down, and I didn't know what was wrong. This lasted the whole weekend. When I would distract myself, it would only work for a little bit. Like the feeling would come back and it would keep me up at night. And I was like, I felt like I was just always on edge and I couldn't really focus that well as I was getting situated in North Carolina, because I recently moved here about a month ago. I got a doctor, and you know, while I'm still on my dad's insurance, I was like, can I get a therapist? And they were like, okay, but you need to get referred, so you have to come to the hospital first, talk to one of our doctors, and then they'll refer you. Last week I went in and they were like, so tell us what's up, like why do you want a therapist? So I started going into the details and she was like, oh, I felt this little questionnaire, and I thought that this was just like the general orientation to getting therapy is that you have to fill out like some kind of entry form. And as soon as she took it back from me, she was like, girl, you have anxiety. And I was like, oh, like I felt relieved, because the reason why I felt relieved is because I thought that I was a normal person with no disorders, no like mental disabilities or anything like that. And I thought that this was just how I was normally gonna feel. Constantly on edge, tense, kind of going crazy inside. But this is not normal, so now I can be helped, I can be treated, I can be fixed. The doctor came in and she asked me if I wanted to either get on anxiety medication or if I wanted to try talk therapy. And I said I would rather try talk therapy, and then she was like, in an ideal world, that's perfect, because we'll let you try talk therapy for about a month. If you're still feeling the way you feel, we will add anxiety medication and do both, and we'll carry it out from there. And I'm like, okay, great. So I got referred, I have a therapist, and my very first therapy session is tomorrow afternoon. And I'm super excited. I'm ready to get this healthcare journey taken care of. And my Nana called me earlier and I was just updating her on that. And she was like, it's very common for people of color to ignore their mental disabilities. It's like, we don't believe it. We don't believe in it. But, you know, if you're someone out there who might have the symptoms that I have, or may have had the symptoms that I had, get help. Get help. because there are people that will help you, make you feel better. And if you don't want to talk about it, there's medication. After I got settled in, I started thinking to myself, oh, I'm actually starting to feel better. You know, like I no longer am feeling these like tense moments where I'm just like on edge. Now I have extreme intrusive thoughts in the middle of the night that are unprovoked and completely unreasonable. So I'll go to sleep and then for some reason I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I have this intense thought. And then I'll take out my phone and I'll look up stories that just make the thought even worse, sort of validating it. I woke up this morning and the very first thing I thought was, I'm gonna get raped when I die. And you're probably like, what? My boyfriend, I told him this too. He was like, Jasmine, what? I was like, listen, when I die, I'm gonna be sent to the morgue and the mortician is gonna take advantage of me and no one will know because I'll be dead. And then that was just like the very first thing I thought of this morning. Never in my life have I had that idea ever, but it was just like today. First thing as I woke up, I was like, I'm gonna get raped when I die. I started looking up like, do people get raped when they die? Like, and the very first thing that came up was, it's very, like, it's often that the mortician or people that work at the morgue will rape or like commit necrophilia. And then I was on this downward spiral and my boyfriend was like, Jasmine, like, you're more likely to get into a car accident than that happen. And I'm like, how do you know? And then he was like, well, how do you know that this happened to people? So I searched this article and it was this man who worked at a morgue and he was like this nicer guy, so like no one suspected him. And he raped 100 women in the morgue, like after they died. I don't know if it's classified as rape since they're dead, but he got intimate with their dead bodies, 100 of them. And the only reason why he was caught is because he recorded himself and he saved those videos on his home computer. So I'm like, babe, what if like the person who does it to me doesn't record it? Then no one will know that I was taken advantage of and my dignity is gone and no one's ever gonna avenge me, you know? And I've never, ever, ever been like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And I'm still not like, I'm gonna die. But I do have a fear that once I die, I'm gonna be taken advantage of. So I looked up like, how do morgues work? And it was pretty much like, the reason why that guy got away with everything he did is because no one checked the video footage at that morgue. So if, you know, there was a security guard that did their job, then he wouldn't have gotten away with as many as he did. So just to give you an idea of like how bad my mental state is first thing when I wake up. Like it's not like, oh, the birds are chirping, good morning, good morning. No, it's like you're gonna get raped when you die. So I know that is very personal, but I told myself I was gonna use my platform for good, so I figured why not share my anxiety symptoms so that way maybe I could help others that don't know they have anxiety. I'm pretty much an open book in most cases, and it's a bad thing most of the time, but you know, at this point I don't really care. When I go and get help, and my very first session of therapy is tomorrow, so excited. I'm hoping that I can get peace of mind, and people that may not even believe in therapy or in anxiety medication, maybe I can be an example that it works if it ends up working for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a few days with another new video. Bye. So good.